brought to you by ACSLive.tv. Amateur Combat Sports Live.
So, look, this is real. This is real.
Juice.
Right now, I'm with Quincy Rice.
I like apple juice, I like orange juice, I like all kinds of juice.
I love juice.
You like the juice?
Well, yeah.
Do I need to say it? 20 years, Quincy Rice right here.
20
You're about to get the raw deal on what the fuck's going on in MMA in Michigan. You know, this is real time. Amateur combat sports takes a freedom of speech approach. And if you don't like what the fuck you're about to hear, peace out. Just go ahead and click the stop button. I'll give you 5 seconds. All right, Quincy Rice, man.
How goes the chamber?
Not bad, man. JMMA. You've been putting this in for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting there. Get bigger every day.
Now I fucking dug around. You know, I did some rooting, and you know, I heard how this all came about. You know, and it was you were walking around handing out applications, right? The story I got was you were walking around. You walked into that powerhouse over there on the other side of town, and everybody was back there working out. And then here we go, man. Now we got
just looking for teaching positions. You know,
Yeah.
MMA's getting big on TV, which is nice because when I started, nobody knew what the hell it was. So it's nice for people to even know what it is. But yeah, and then Jason Stoner ran a show, and I ended up refereeing that show. He didn't have me back, said I was too brutal or some bullshit. But
Optimus Ice.
yeah, he said I let fights go too long or something. But you know, I come from old school, man, where you know you go out one way, you either unconscious or you tap out. You know, I don't like ending fights for
Tap or
fighters.
sleep.
Yeah, well, you know, fighters know when they're done. It's up to them. You know, I mean, I think the referees are a little too fast to call fights anymore. Of course, they're looking out for the welfare of the fighters, but you know, like I said, I come from the old school where you know people used to take a beat down like a man. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, you got these pussies who fight, and they know the referee's gonna save them, so they go around and they tell all their buddies they're fighting that weekend, and they brag about being a fighter, and they got a picture of them in their bedroom with their Everlast MMA gloves. In a closet in the background, and you know they got their tap out shorts on, and they take a picture and they tell everybody they're a fighter, and then they go in there and they know the referee's gonna save them. Well, I wasn't that referee. I let them get their ass beat and learn what they got themselves into.
That's what I like about Vance too, man. Vance and Lee Trombley.
Yeah,
both,
Vance
man.
does a really good job. Vance is probably the best referee in Michigan as far as I'm concerned. He does the best job. He's probably reffed, you know, 200-300 of my guys' fights. I've never seen him make a mistake or never had him make a decision that I wasn't happy with. Lee does a really good job. Darren Cruikshank, great referee. Who's the Irish kid? Whatever. Is he Irish or, wait, you know what I'm talking about, pro fighter. What's his name?
Shortstack.
Josh Shortstack?
No, not him, the other dude. Another pro fighter. Anyway, that guy's pretty good. God, I think he was Irish anyway. Who knows? They're all the same. They all look the same.
I don't know. I used to have some of my favorites. It seems like every time I go to a fight and somebody brings a new staff member around, like I get a new favorite, you know. And but now I pretty much narrowed it down in referees since we're on the subject. I got my three favorites for following all the rules. I like Trevor Corwin. I really do. And you can roll your eyes.
TJ.
I love TJ.
I didn't roll my eyes. TJ. The shirt,
it was an island.
Whoa.
No.
That thing is. Did you buy that at a Western store, TJ? You got like, dude.
Congratulations on the new baby, by the way.
Yeah. Congrats on that. But the shirt.
No, for following all the rules right to the T, I guess.
Yeah, he does a good job. I like
being
TJ.
one badass.
And I love his website, man. He does good things with his website.
Oh yeah, FightMichigan.com, big supporter.
Promotes Michigan MMA really, really well. He does an awesome job. Him and Shannon are great for Michigan MMA. So
Amateur combat
I tease you
big
about your
supporter
shirt, TJ, but you do a great job, brother. Your shirt's got to go though.
And then of course Vance for being the most brutal ref in the industry.
Yeah, I love it, dude. The one dude tried to bite him. That show was awesome. Dude tried to bite him and he scooped him up by his neck. I thought it was awesome. One thing I like about Lee too, and that's why I have Lee referee the PCFLs, either Lee or Vance, but I usually have Lee, and that's because he won't put up with bullshit. You know, he keeps order in there. He is not afraid to scoop somebody up by their throat and throw them across the ring, which I love to see. So you know, you got to have somebody in there who isn't tentative, who isn't gonna wonder if he's making the right choice. Who makes a choice, sticks with it, whether he's wrong or right. His choice is the final, decision, and stand by that no matter what anybody says.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I look for in a referee, and that's what good referees are about.
And he's a fan favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fans love him, especially the women.
Leo get up there and just say, "Come here, you scream!"
The women love your man stuff. He's a big crowd favorite in that regard too. Women absolutely.
So in the end,
we always have Steph there to beat him up if they get a little too frisky. So
Quincy can't get a word in edgewise. Rice, owner of JMMA. So as far as fighters go, like in the AMI world, let's exclude your gym, okay? Because we know you'd be biased right here. Let's go outside it. Let's go outside the gym.
left.
Let's go outside the gym. Who's really a promising amateur that Daquan already went pros. Daquan had mean legs, mean fists.
Yeah,
I've seen him.
Crucian's really good. He can improve on his ground, but man, Crucian's got some sick striking. I really like watching him fight. He's one of my favorites to watch. Let me think. Amy's in Michigan. Whoa.
There's a lot. There's a lot to think about, man.
There really is. There is a lot. A lot of the guys that I really enjoyed watching are starting to go pro. Guys like Dom Sedone, who is a really cool guy. Derek
Now
Mann.
his brother's coming up really hard too.
Yeah.
Mike's not too shabby.
Yeah, he's fighting Jordan from Stars and Stripes. That'll be a good fight coming up. I do believe it's for a belt in WXC.
Right, on the 19th October.
One of those crappy promotions. Anyway, but he's good. You got a lot of good guys coming up. Lansing's putting out some really tough guys. I know that Torres has a gym out in Lansing. He's putting out some really tough guys. I forget what's the name of this 170 champ. Nash, Bobby Nash, tough kid, man. I really like watching that guy fight. Any of the guys Torres puts out are really top quality guys. Detroit, you got Stars and Strikes putting out a lot of guys. Fight Club Proving Grounds, really tough fighters coming out of there. So, the amateur scene's getting a lot better in Michigan. It was pretty much non-existent here a few years ago, but now it's,
and it's growing. It's hard to reach an audience. A lot of people are still under the misconception that we're slinging out a blood sport, but, I've really tried to push the point about, these guys actually train. It's the same comparison as two drywallers that have different skills showing, like going against the scene who's the best. You know what I mean? But with mixed martial arts, the biggest misconception about the blood sport is it's just guys that want to get in there and beat their faces in. But I've seen you guys. Yeah. I've seen you guys in here training, how you're rolling and striking. And these guys, if you could say anything to bring a fan in that was 100% against like the idea of it, but yet maybe they were a boxing fan, you know what I mean? What would you say that they could expect from your shows that would be so much more exciting than going to like a boxing event or just a kickboxing show or just a Muay Thai kickboxing?
No, I actually like boxing. I'm a boxing fan. I like boxing. I like kickboxing. I wouldn't say that we're better in any way. We're just different. It's a different sport. I wouldn't say that it's any harder or any less hard. I actually think boxers go through a lot more pain than we do. I mean, they get hit 100 times a round, times 10 rounds, 15 rounds. Those guys take a beating, That's one of the good things about MMA is you don't end up brain dead. Some of them start out brain dead, but they don't end up brain dead from the MMA. They just started that way. For the most part, though, it encompasses everything. Grappling, kickboxing, boxing. It has the elements of all the combat arts mixed together, which is what, to me, makes it the ultimate sport. It's basically what everybody wants to see. You go to a football game, you hope a fight breaks out. You don't go to a fight hoping a football game breaks out.
Well, 2 years with your gym here, man. I mean, if I go around and look around at the walls, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 belts and probably about 6 rewards.
10.
And 10 of them, 10 belts.
Yeah.
10 belts and the amateur combat sports Warhammer. 10 belts, no, man. I mean, come on, give yourself some credit. 10 belts in 2 years.
I can't give myself the credit. I wish I could. Like the fighters get that credit when they put their time in the gym.
Sometimes you can't walk into a 10-year gym and see that many accolades.
Yeah, well, that's just it's a testament to how much they're willing to train and how much time they're willing to put in. Every belt that's on this wall is hours and hours of their work. I mean, I can show them the way, but they're the ones who have to do the work. So for me to take any credit for that would just be egotistical. That isn't my work. That's their work.
Right on, man. Right on. I dig that. But you don't take it easy on them, no.
No,
You know, when
no.
when it comes to the stamina, when it comes to the skill and the determination these fighters have, you know, that's inside their heart. But when it comes to their absolute, like all their cardio and all their skill actually in the ring and fighting, Quincy actually pushes these guys to the 100% limit.
Yeah,
You know,
cardio is king.
Cardio is king.
Cardio is king. I can't even stress it enough. I mean, probably 50% of the fights we win is on cardio. A lot of the guys that are fighting amateur now, if I could tell them anything, it's get your fucking cardio up. My God, some of these people, I seen them fighting for belts the other weekend. Second round, these guys are puking after 2-3 minute rounds. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I would flip out. I would kill my guys if they gassed out after 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? You got to put your time in on cardio. Cardio is king. You know what I mean? You can be the best fighter in the world. You become a coward as soon as you gas out. So
yeah, that's actually the
cardio is
catchphrase I've been getting pissed about lately too, man.
Yeah.
I actually seen a couple fights. You know, I go around the state and film events, and one kid, I'm talking 10 seconds, man, and then up he gets off the mat. He tapped 10 seconds into the round, looks at his opponent and goes, I was gassed. You were gassed after 10 seconds. And people are using this just to like, for an scapegoat, to just be like, oh, well, I fought in the ring, you know.
Yeah, well, those guys, you know, there's a whole group of guys out there, and you can find them on Facebook. They're pretty easy to find. Like I said, just look for the bedroom picture with their gloves. But they're in it to tell people they're a fighter. They're not in it to see how good they can get. They're not in it to put time into it. They're in it for looks, and they're in it to tell people they're a fighter. And they don't even really want to fight. And we get that with every card that we do. You know, you have 10 or so guys who pull off. They never intended on fighting in the first place. All they did is they wanted to tell everybody they were fighting.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then they post a picture of themselves, you know. And then once they finally man up and get in there, they look for the fastest way out of the fight as they can, you know, because it's all about show. You know, I've seen a lot of guys, you know, you guys with your red mohawks and your, you know, you spend more time on your outfit and your entrance than you do on actually training for the fight. That's fairly pathetic. You know what I'm saying?
Mohawks.
Yeah, just.
You mean short on fingers? Like red mohawks and
I'm not talking about anybody in particular. There's an entire group of people that are like that spend more time on their look and their walk in. I mean, you'll see these guys warming up, they look like a pro, then they get in there and they don't even know how to throw a punch, you know what I mean? If you're spending more time worried about the song you're coming out to or how your hair looks than you are your technique, well then you're an embarrassment to yourself, your family,
so what's your
and
tip
the
then
sport.
to these guys that are training out of their home? What is the best thing they can be doing?
You can get good training out of your home. Hell, Evan Tanner made it to the UFC training off YouTube videos. That doesn't matter. It just matters that you're willing to put in the work, you know. If you drill an arm lock 1,000 times, you will land one in a fight. If you watch it on YouTube and think you absorbed it by osmosis, well, then you might be kind of fucking stupid, you know. So the main thing is, you know, quit worrying about so much what you look like and worry about how you fight. You know, that would be my best advice to anybody out there. And again, if I see you walking around an event with 3 belts around you and you can't even show me how to finish an arm lock, you're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment to yourself, to your family, and to the sport of MMA.
Right on.
Word.
Right on, man. So you got a show coming up, Prison City Fight League.
Yes.
It's kind of like a dual thing. How's that work? JMMA is your gym. Prison City Fight League is you and our buddy.
Yeah. Well, I run Jackson MMA. Joe, for the most part, runs Prison City Fight League. I mean, I put guys in it, and I help him oversee it just because I have a lot of experience in MMA and the promotion end of things. But Joe does all the matchmaking. It would be a conflict of interest for me to matchmake, so I allow Joe to matchmake the fights. I have about 10 guys in this show. We have about 28 fights. I have 10 guys in this show, so there's another 18 fights that have nothing to do with Jackson MMA. Again, I have Joe do most of the work because it's a conflict of interest for me to run a gym and run a promotion. I also make sure that we bring in non-partial judges and, you know, non-partial referees, things like that.
I used to judge in Jackson. I can't judge in Jackson.
Well, I bring in guys like Drew Gardner.
No, it ain't a preference. Like, it's nothing against me. It's just I'm too partial to my
hater.
fights.
So, you know what I'm saying? If Drew can come in and judge me, that's
Hey,
awesome.
look, it's our favorite ring girl, Tony Galindo. How you doing, Tony?
That's okay.
Welcome to the Amateur Combat Sports Show.
Thanks for walking right in front of
Come
that
over
interview.
here. Come on over and grab a seat.
Yeah.
You're
We were until you
on
walked through
TV
it.
now, Tony.
Tony Galindo walking in. This is one of the, yeah, not live right now, but we will be.
Brought to you by ACSLive.tv. Amateur Combat Sports Live.